Right then, part 3 of Chattenden Urbex. This case on from part 2, which I did 5 years ago. So it's been a while since the last episode. In these 5 years, I put a lot of effort to getting in, with a lot of cuts on my legs from all the brambles. I recommend before watching this video, you go and watch parts 1 and 2 first, so you can get a feel for this place. So in this episode, we're mainly going to be looking at the ammunition storage area, which is very interesting, especially with the big over-the-top walls to stop people getting in, and the very weird sign, prohibited articles. And just notice, part 4, snuff or containers for snuff. Number 6, food and drink. Number 7, radio sets, or can't bring a radio set in. Number 8, fire alarms. That is really weird. And my personal favourite one, number 11, cameras. Oh dear, we disobeyed that one. So in parts 1 and 2, we looked round the abandoned barracks area, which is all flattened, where they wanted to build new houses, but Medway Cows were blocked from doing so since there was a rare bird round here. Not all of it's abandoned. In part of the barracks towards the north of the Chattenden and Lodge Hill area, barracks are still in use, and the security around the active army site is very aggressive, to say the least. So before we go into the explosive storage area, let's first go to an abandoned little block of flats. This is one of the block of flats where the military people used to live. It's now just regular housing, and all the other ones of these little blocks are in use, but this particular one is abandoned. I went here previously. Let's go back in and see how it's changed, and it's looking very bad on the inside. So then we now go along to where I climb over a fence and along to a Second World War bunker. This is an air raid shelter. This is where the army people living in the various residential houses around this area would have gone when an air raid siren went off. And now I go along to where I climb over a fence. It was 4 separate different fences I had to get into this place. It was quite a lot of different things, especially since there wasn't a well-trodden path of urbexes. So over the fence through lots of brambles to some more military houses. These ones are abandoned. These are similar to ones in part 2, but are different. Let's take a quick look inside them. So then we now continue to the ammunition storage area. We have to go through several more fences, and it seems that people have been here sometime in the past because there are holes in these fences, but not for a very long time as there's a lot of brambles. Now the footage you're seeing at the moment was actually from about 5 years ago where I was making attempts to get in, and I found where the holes in the fences were, but it was lots and lots of bramble where whoever last went in must have gone in a very long time ago. I was slowly going back here and stomping down these brambles with my feet to make a path. This is a long, slow, painful process, and I had lots of cuts and grazes on my legs from doing this. Notice that this way in round the back, the big over the top wall stopping people from getting into the ammunitions factory has a sort of gap in it, and that is gap. It's got a lot less substantial fence, which is this made of metal. This less substantial fence is very rusty and has lots of holes in it, so you can actually get through it. Very weird, I put all the effort of being in a massive secure wall, but I leave a big gap where it's easy to get in. And after all my efforts of doing this, after about the third time going back here, I finally went through the last hole in the fence to get in, and I was caught fairly much straight away, which is very annoying. This is because I believe the active army base can actually overlook the abandoned ammunitions factory, so that makes it quite dodgy. So, in the present day, we return. The holes in the fences were all still there from last time, so they haven't patched them up, but the brambles had regrown, so after lots more cuts on the legs from stomping down the brambles, we finally got in. So now we go along to behind the big fence which you saw at the start of the video. And now we go down to the security hut. Let's take a look inside this security hut.
It's the contraband.
Wow, I actually used the word contraband. I thought that was just a joke word. Police dogs training in this area, right. So what's your reason to come into the bomb factory today?
Facilities Executive Special Services Group.
And along we go to the magazines. Magazines are a word for a building used to store ammunition. I believe this is all abandoned. There's no security, so it obviously can't be used for active storage of ammunition, I hope. But it's interesting, they store fireworks here now. Now, I believe these are the fireworks Medway Council uses in their big spectacular firework display they do every year on a firework night. It's very weird that they store it here, although I guess it's a good place to store it. All of the different magazine buildings were all very securely locked up and we couldn't get in them, but nevertheless it was still very interesting to take a look around the different buildings. Half expected it to be open.
There will be alarms in there.
Nah, unlikely.
Unlikely.
There's 5 of these different buildings, so let's now go along to the next one.
Where are the Securitas tags? They must have alarms here or something.
I think it powers off. I highly doubt there's any bombs still stored in here, because it's so abandoned. There'd be all military everywhere if there was. Have you got your tag? From security cabin.
So we found this generator. So you switch it to on, wait it to test the battery and everything. Auto check until the cycle is gone. Then press on start.
It's local guide. It's local military guide. Maybe not. It doesn't really work. We're not getting in any of this. Really? You actually think there's still explosives in this right now?
They are now, but when they are, put them in here. These are not old. Can you put the sign saying what's stored in that?
Then I'll take a